and welcome to AfterBuzz Anime Reviews. We're talking about When They Cry, episodes 5 through 8. So forget episodes 1 through 4 because essentially it all starts over again. And we're going to discuss that as well as murder, mayhem, but did they really die? Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, and welcome to AfterBuzz Anime Reviews. We're talking about When They Cry, episodes 5 through 8. But it almost feels like a new episode 1 because the arc starts all over again.
I think that's a very fun thing about this
Yes.
series is that there's a lot of different storylines where everyone is at focus at one point, so
This
it's
is
cool.
true. Yes. We're going to be talking about those episodes as well as Show Off in Japan Crate and some updated news regarding Anime Expo and a certain show that we mentioned before. You might want to stay tuned for that. Let's go down the line. My name is Kari Lane, joined by my wonderful panel with Veronica.
Veronica Valencia. I thought you were starting at Ollie.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I went like gesture without like.
Oh, sorry. Hey,
Yes.
everyone. Veronica Valencia here.
And then what did Jaimi?
I was like, all right. I just wanted to have like the awkward silence before it says.
we have to do it again.
Thank
right?
you.
And now
Thank
we
you.
Now you have
and
intro music.
We'll do another pause. And Ollie! Woo!
Ollie.
Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Ollie.
And so these new episodes, Jaimi, we kind of mentioned it.
Who are you?
And I said Kari at the top. I said Kari first. It's one of those days, everybody. It's just one of those days. So Ollie and Veronica have watched this show, and if you have watched the show, please no spoilers. We do have a live chat going. Welcome everybody who's watching live. Please comment down below if you're watching it later. Last week someone said Rena's best girl, which I was like, all right, we'll see how it goes of how we think about her. But still, so Jaimi, you and I, this is first time. What did you think when it goes reset as if nothing happened before?
I thought it was weird because it's like I knew that we were gonna have different arcs or whatever, but I thought it was gonna be like different people or something. I just didn't know what to expect. So no, it's the same people, but like a different perspective. Rena changed a bit for me. You know, at first she was really timid and typical, you know, schoolgirl, but she became more serious, which I liked.
Yeah.
And I also liked seeing Mion because we didn't really get to know her personality like that the last arc, even though it was literally just an episode ago. We saw that one moment where she was like, oh, I should have killed him. But that's all we saw. And it was just like, whoa. But now it's like, she's the one. She's the culprit. And it also explained the intro a little bit more, too, where we saw, like, the twins. And I was like, who is that? So I enjoyed it.
Nice.
I learned a lot.
Ollie, Veronica, rewatching it, how was it coming back into this segment?
I just love hearing your guys' like theories already, and just kind of like,
Am I wrong still?
I'm not saying anything. I'm drinking my tea, but it's cool. I always thought that whenever a new arc would start, it kind of felt like a dream. You're waking up from like a nightmare or something. So that's kind of like they're just kind of like timelines or something. Just kind of like they're separate, but they're all connected. But anyways, Veronica.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's always interesting rewatching a new arc and hearing everyone else's thought processes. When I first watched this, and even when I still watch this, when Shion is introduced, I'm like, I feel like I got transported to a telenovela with one of those like evil twin arcs kind of thing. And so it was just really fun watching that. And it's also, like I said, just kind of fun going back and picking up things here and there I didn't get the first time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to figure out when we learn everything. And I'm trying not to actually have theories ahead of time because I feel that would shape what my opinion is of it. It's like, no, it's way too early to be like, just wash over me. Episode 5, we have Jealousy, and this set is called The Cotton Drifting. So I like that each set is also a different title. So Jealousy. So more of that creepy, crazy laughter. That head and the knife was very quick, but it's like, which we didn't come back to that, which was weird. Normally, the other segment, we started with it and ended with it. Does anybody have, Jaimi, did you notice, or Ollie and Veronica, now that, does it come back later?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it will.
Seems like
I'll take your lead on this.
Because how it started, like her stabbing herself, it'll
come back
you'll see
later.
that again.
Well, it's, it's starting the pattern, because episode 1 through 4, 1 opened that way and ended that way on 4, and so it was weird with 5 to open that way and not end that way on 8. So then it was like, wait.
And it was also just weird that we didn't know who Shion was at all, you know, that whole first arc.
Yeah.
It just was just weird.
It's like, oh, okay. So we get everything's back to normal. They go to town, which like they seem so isolated, but okay, we're just gonna bike to town. So then that threw a new like, okay. The game shop, random like quirky and funny stuff. What do we think of the game? And then how he incorporates those boys, help me win, because you can get the girl to do whatever you want.
This is one of those parts about anime ridiculousness that I absolutely enjoy, where the guy's like, I'm gonna help you and blow you the card, and it's really like a freaking like fan going towards him.
And yeah, it's so cheesy, and you go, okay, cool, the kids. And I thought that doll was kind of creepy, but apparently he should have given it to Mion. I don't know, who thought the doll was cute? Nope. No. Oh, we get a lot of shaking hands.
That doll's cursed. Annabelle.
Right? Yes.
Annabelle,
do not
Chucky.
trust
The
that.
original Annabelle.
Mion has... Oh, I don't think I noticed this in the first arc. Mion has a gun. She has a shoulder holster gun, and I don't think I noticed it the first time.
I didn't either.
I guess they do that in small towns in Japan.
Well, she's part of
Hitamizawa, you know.
She is sort of part of the Yakuza of that town, so I'm like, I guess, but it was just so like, what? Where'd that come from? We get the Angel Mort, that weird cafe place, and it's not Mion, it's Shion. And even then, Keiichi, that is some rude ass behavior to do to someone you think you know. And it's like, no, that's my twin. Who thought like that was her just faking it? I kind of was not sure too.
I thought it was her twin.
At first, I thought it was her faking it because, you know, I feel like Mion is a very prideful person, so I could totally see why she would try and like play it off like, oh, it's my twin, ha ha ha.
No, I mean, I know the anime, but even at first, I figured that there was the discrepancy, especially with the opening, which I love. I love the opening, and seeing Mion and Shion together, and kind of how like that's symbolic and whatnot. But I think this was also a particular time where Keiichi, he doesn't have a whole lot of time where he's like in charge, because the girls are always against him, and they're kind of like they're more powerful than him, and this was his chance to kind of like take digs at who we thought was Mion, even though it was Shion. Even though I wasn't here for it.
And then
Screw you, Keiichi.
And younger twin, I'm like, well, technically it's like literally minutes, but okay, sure, the younger twin, or the most you could be older is like minutes. I thought that was really
funny how they emphasize that too. Like her younger, it's like, geez, just rub it in.
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool. And then when Shion coming over to his house right away, and it's like, and it's like, are you really a twin? Then we learn yes. Then we get back the re-emphasis on the Cotton Drifting Festival. The nice thing too is I had a friend watch this arc with me. I'm like, don't worry that you didn't see 1 through 4. Doesn't matter. They re-explain everything all over. What do we think of the Cotton Festival being re-explained, but now slightly getting darker?
Yeah, it was just interesting. I didn't think much of it just because I felt like it was already dark. We already knew about the priest and about Takatoke.
They both have very similar names. Tomitake, Miss Takuno.
Takuno, yeah.
That's what would be that ship name?
Yeah, but it was nice to know a little bit more about Takuno.
Yes.
Whew, this tease.
Also, we have that quick moment back at the cafe that happens because coming back. Those weird townspeople showing up, and then we learn later it's because they're sort of connected because they're dog demons.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Question mark? Which goes back to the eye thing that we noticed, like the slit eyes. But then there's other people that have it too. So then I'm like, but what does that mean?
Especially when I think it was Rika who was like the older cat. She says this is like in later episodes.
When she says that metaphor.
It kind of, you know, the eyes.
That too, cat eyes.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Ollie's making a smile over there.
No, I mean, interesting theory. I'm not going to tell you what happened.
No, okay,
no, tell me now.
But that cat thing was really a good theory, but it's nothing.
Okay.
There are no cat demons.
Okay.
There are no cat lions. Oh, gosh.
Then we have he gets to meet both girls, and then there's something off between these girls that, I mean, it's a standard thing with siblings. And Rena helps Mion, who is upset, because it was like, why is she so upset about stuff? But okay. Then we jump to episode 6.
Oh, wait, are you asking why Mion was like upset that she would be like, bathroom?
Yeah, when she's like, well, because, yes. I think so.
Oh, I thought it was because she had like a crush on him and he was staring at her and she felt awkward.
That's what I thought.
There we go. Sure. Episode 6, Takano, so that's when they're getting the festival prep and everything. And there's more tension with Mion and her sister, and they're all hanging out. And that's when we get to see our photographer, and we learn also Takano's a nurse, which I don't think that was brought up before. So we're like, okay, as if we're meeting them the first time, and then Oishi's there. It just really feels like,
come into my car.
yes, again, creeper. No, I'm sorry. Also, Mion changes the subject when like they're trying to talk about the juice and the dirt of the town, which is also again suspicious. Small town not talking about gossip is weird. So I don't know. That was like, That's when the Shion brings up the curse. Also, I don't know if anybody knows. So in this arc, Hinamizawa's they called it a guardian god, and I didn't feel they called it a guardian the first time around. Like, it was more just a curse. So it was interesting this time they referred to it as a guardian god.
I think they're explaining things and whenever they go over something again, they're adding something more, just so it's not like, well, and it's like keep on to that, to every single information, but it's also, we're not going to explain this thing 10,000 times and not have any purpose to it. So, like, it's caught interesting festival, yes, but also we have this god that, it's like you're just getting more pieces of the puzzle, basically.
I like it. Because, I was like, oh, that's interesting, did it? So, every year, 4 years already. And then that's when we get Takano saying, it probably is a person. And telenovela, cue the dun dun dun.
It felt so, like, dramatic, but in the best way possible.
Well, also, did you guys notice in this set, I don't think they did in the first, and remind me if they did, they had so many, like, dun dun dun. Like, literally the camera, like...
Yeah, and it pans in, and you see, like, the sweat trickling, and his eyes are, like, bulging out. I'm like, Keiichi, like, he just needs to get it together. He just seems like such a spaz. I'm like, you gotta calm down in these situations.
Because they didn't do that the first arc, right? I don't think they did.
A little bit, but
maybe
this
less.
Like,
this was a lot.
He needs a Xanax.
I think this one's more ominous or something. Something about this arc is a lot more ominous than the other one.
Fair.
I don't know.
And then goes into the woods, but it's not the fun time he was thinking about, which is like, okay. And then when they go into this creepy, where is it?
The shrine.
Yes, the ritual tool room, and essentially it's a torture chamber. So yay, fun. And that's also when Tomitake and Takano are there. And they mentioned that cotton and bowels in Japanese sound similar, and so the idea of pulling and what they're doing is not necessarily just cotton, it's dismemberment.
Yeah, and it's also, that's also cool, which I didn't even notice that the first time I was watching this, because like stuffed animals, bears, like cotton, they have cotton inside them. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Pillows.
Yeah, everything has cotton. It's their stuffing.
Shirts have cotton.
Well, stuffing and what it's full of, and it's like, no, totally. I hadn't even thought of it though when she was doing, when Rika's doing the
her performance.
The performance
her
piece.
Ritual,
and it's like a disemboweling tool. And you go, oh, okay. Well, that got dark real fast. And that torture room is all nice and kind of fun. Okay, then it also ends really weird with Mion going, I'm going to tell them and relay that you are not involved to Keiichi. He's like, who? I'm like, who's this they?
Wait, do you mean Shion? Or Mion? Where are we right now?
This is towards the end of the episode, and Mion is like, "Did you see Shion? Did you see my sister?"
Sorry.
And he's like, "No, it is one of those." That's what. Good point. It's very confusing at the end. And they're like, "Well, did you do anything?" And he lies and says, "Oh no, I didn't see them." And Mion says, "Oh, okay, I'll go tell them." And then you weren't involved, and it just feels really weird because you don't know who this mysterious group is.
We find out though, in a sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The demon tribe, essentially?
Essentially, yeah. Like her.
But at that point, you're like,
her household.
Yes. And then we learned that two people generally, this time around, 2 people died.
Dun, dun, dun.
Which was Takano and Tomitake,
yes.
Right? Yes. Okay.
One
that's another thing, like time resets. So not only do these people have to basically, like, relive all this horror again, but Takano and Tomitake have to, like, die.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Who are these characters?
Tomitake he clawed his throat out, and Takano is burned.
Yeah.
But it felt like weird information that's being passed on, and you're, I know, right? The clawing your own throat, you're like, nope.
It's one of those sensitive areas, man.
Episode 7, Lies. The village headmaster. Well, it was weird because it said school headmaster, and then it also said the village leader. So was it both? Is he both?
The guy who rings the bell or something? Wait,
I guess,
confused.
well, because at the beginning, no, it's all right. At the very top of episode 7, they said the school headmaster is missing, but then I thought at other times they also refer to him as like the village headman.
I think
he might be both.
He might be both. It's small
I
town.
always took it as like the school. He might be both, but I just took it as
the person in charge.
Yeah.
Okay. It was Kimiyoshi was that character's name, and they're like, okay, well, he's missing, because then it was weird that the 2 people died, because so far with the curse, it's generally 1 dies, 1 goes missing, but now it's 2 people died, 1 person missing, so that should mean
I feel like
one more
whenever the
misses.
person's missing, that's always kind of like, oh, that's like the culprit, you know? You should think of like, oh, that person's the murderer or whatever, you know? Like,
I don't know. So far, I'm more like, that's just the body they didn't find. That went off the cliff, and they couldn't get it out of the wreckage or something. They have... Oh, Rika then is like, oh, this is the cat thing we were talking about. Did you do anything bad? And that was a fun little metaphor conversation between her and Keiichi. Did you guys like that?
It also was frustrating to watch it again. I'm like, oh my god, I remember how annoyed I was. I'm trying to like, okay.
Just like, Keiichi just tell her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Rika, I love Rika. I think Rika's
cute.
best girl for a really big reason, which you'll find out soon, or you'll find out. But I understand why she talks the way she does. And that's it.
Well, so far...
Right? Wouldn't you agree?
No, I agree. And I think with this whole metaphor, I think there became a certain point in this conversation where Keiichi could have literally just opened up to her and explained to her, because she already knew what was the point of keep talking in metaphors.
Yeah.
Well, because he felt then if you tell them, they die. So
I don't
That's
think
true.
he believed it. No, because he...
Did he not know that? He didn't know that yet.
Has
he hadn't
Shion
talked
told him
to
yet?
Shion yet.
Okay, well...
Right?
But
I guess not.
I guess I'm thinking ahead of Rika's character.
Maybe he just doesn't... I think you're right that I don't think he knew yet that, but I think he was still so concerned with how much people were repressing him that he didn't want to even talk about it.
Yeah.
That he's like, okay, if we can talk about it. So I have this friend, and they did a thing. No, it's not me. This is my friend. I mean, because people do that sometimes. It's like, yes, you're talking about you. We know you're talking about you. Yeah. So that's probably what it is more. But maybe is it later of that's just how she talks and Ollie, you were saying? For a reason? Okay.
I'll say
mysterious.
Rika's not stupid.
No, I don't think she's stupid at all. She's just... Because also she tells him, like, I'll protect you, which was interesting. You're like, okay. But then we learned that... Oh, yeah, no, because immediately after, Shion and Keiichi is like, if you tell somebody the truth, it equals death. Because then Rika and Kimiyoshi, he thinks, are both dead. And again, it's one of those information we leak. But I think it's still after that scene.
Did either of you think, Kari or Jaimi, did either of you think that Shion and Keiichi were in fear that they were going to be the ones to disappear because they were the other 2 in the equation?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I thought that, yeah. Because
I think he was freaking out so much.
It's like the final destination that they're waiting for their turn to come and get them.
That's perfect.
Because it's like they're just trying to stall. But though I felt very suspicious of Shion, that I'm like, dude, she's doing it. You know, she felt like she knew too much. Or later when he learns he's technically talking to her after she's like gone missing, but he's still talking to her. That's the other thing of trying to keep track of all those details, because it's like, yeah. Which is in a good way, because it's not dull whatsoever. It's just a lot of information, mystery. So we have then the Rika and Satoko, they are lost parents due to the curse. They live together, and then that's when they mention Satoshi again. And then we get the really creepy neon ladder scene. What was that? In that phase, it was so like it's comical, right?
Yeah,
she's
so
strong.
She is.
Like, Keiichi's on top of the ladder, and she's just.
It's always that one crazy moment where I'm just like,
because you just sit there, you're going, what is going on?
Yeah. This is all Sachiko's fault. Oh my gosh.
Because she goes, it's here, which makes me think Mion likes Satoshi, and she blames Satoko that he's gone, and then that's why she's like, it's her fault. And you're sitting there going, okay,
and
this
then,
girl's cray-cray.
And then Rena comes, and then she's just totally fine. She's like, hi, Rena.
What did you think of that scene? Please let us know in the comments down below. Because, yeah, it was so weird. Jaimi, were you sitting there shaking your head going,
yes, I'm just like, what is happening? But it's like I said, there's always like that one moment, just like even in the last arc where Rena was getting her hand closed on. It's just like, what is happening? So it's just always that like WTF moment, and that was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that was kind of the WTF of this episode. Also, nobody's home at that house, so then that's when Keiichi's getting really nervous. and they don't. Oh, Oishi calls Keiichi again. And their names sound similar in terms of if you're saying them fast. They have their phone call, no real leads or anything. But that's when I'm like, okay, Shion is suspicious, but she's missing? Question mark? And then she calls, and again, he is there's like the weird laughter. We get more. There's a lot of creepy laughter in this show too.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of annoying. I'm just gonna say it's annoying.
Almost, yeah, because it's just so. But maybe it's good because it makes you annoyed or uncomfortable because it's so weird. Both. But then it's good because then it did its job. Because if you sat there going, oh, whatever, compared to recoil, what is going on with these freaky people? And then that's when it gets really scared. Because also another theme of women laughing at him again. So it's like, So I'm like, This one felt a little more ensemble versus him being more the main character in the first one, though he is kind of our character that we're following through this new world. Yeah. Because also we're the new people to this environment as well. Because I remember all.
So it makes sense like why we're following him, and I think it's also to kind of like question some of these female characters of like who are they and what is their tie to this town and the curse and whatnot. Because everyone has like a purpose. Everyone's not just there just to be there. Yeah. Keiichi's kind of like just there. To be there. Exactly. Yeah. And so we think of him, right now, you think of him as the main character, but really he's like, to me, he's the most uninteresting character of the, I know, sorry, don't at me. Okay, at me. But to me, he's really just not, like, he has a backstory and everything, but he really doesn't have any ties to the town. Like everyone else does.
No, he's our very generic, he's our avatar character walking through a town. Yeah. So it's like, but then that makes it easier for us to follow that. And then also that's like the baseline so that everything else is measured on crazy or not. Yeah. So, but yeah, I agreed. I'm like, no, I want to know way more about the other people than him. But then that makes them more interesting.
Yeah, we kind of have to go through his eyes to learn that sometimes.
Episode 8, Wish. So that's when he's like, screw this, I'm skipping school. Again, he tries to skip school. And again, where are his parents? They're never around and you never see them.
That's just anime. There's never any anime parents.
Never.
Well, though, Monica, we got to see great parents.
That mom was great.
That's an exception.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because yeah, it's just so weird. Like maybe they're only off screen, or we never see them. They're always away on business. But they're often away on business.
They're problematic, like Spirit for Maka.
Rena visits, and then I like when she slaps him, of just like you did something wrong, and you did something wrong. But again, nobody's asking the right questions or telling him because he can claim ignorance. But then that only gets you so far. Like, he probably should have asked of, like, hey, like, what are the ground rules here? I don't know if anybody else felt like...
I feel like...
He's playing that ignorance card way too easily.
I feel like he could, but I feel like the people of the town, aside from maybe a few people, don't like talking about it because, this whole episode was about... Shion and Keiichi, if they talk about it, something bad happens. So the whole town could probably say something like that. Like, if we talk about it, something else is going to happen besides just, the day of the Cotton Drifting Festival. Right. So, he could be like, hey, what's going on? But they'll probably be like, we can't discuss it. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
True.
And he's young. He doesn't really know who to trust at this point.
Wait,
did we not remember the scene with? I'm sorry, we're backtracking.
No,
the scene with Rena being an investigator.
I loved that.
Yeah. I hated that.
I didn't like it. She was too much.
Oh, when she was like, I opened the fridge and
don't you dare put tofu before you put tofu in after.
I thought it was so ridiculous, which is why it was wonderful.
It was. And then I was like, I remember I hated this scene too.
And there's rice enough for 2.
There's enough. The portion size is for 2, and I'm like,
what do you cover it up with? Plastic.
Girl, what if Rika's a fat ass like me and likes to eat for 2?
Right. And the soy sauce is missing, and here's the receipt where they're going.
Too much.
I thought it was a good explanation of they're coming home in terms of like they left the stove on. This doesn't mean they're gone that long. I can see it as being cheesy. But within this show, I feel it does a roller coaster of scary, weird, and creepy, and then these bizarrely absurd, quirky things that are funny.
It just made me want miso soup. But I also think that as ridiculous as it was, as I laugh at the hell out of it, it also shows kind of like how strategic and like really aware like Rena is, and we kind of wrote her off as this she's just this kawaii girl who just like very not unstable, but she has lots of like intelligence, I think. Yeah I like that about her.
because so far she's been very much portrayed as almost needy. Like, I need attention, I need validation from other people kind of a character.
But she has, like,
no,
strengths.
she's super smart.
Yeah, she has some strengths of her own.
Yeah, this,
like every single character does.
This particular arc, she really came out as the person to tie all the strings together.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Then we have the... Oh, yeah, Oishi keeps popping up, which, again, is creepy. This is also when Rena, speaking of Rena, I was like, she was starting to... I was feeling like she's suspicious in terms of knowing information and everything. And yeah, you're just like, I don't know who to trust. Everybody feels like, I don't know, anybody could be the bad person. Then that's when Keiichi and Rena, they go to Mion's house and they learn that the old name for the village was the Onigafuchi village. So that was the old name, and it meant they were descended from demons and they're heirs to, like, the demon lineage. You go,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Makes sense.
Cool. It's like, yes, I follow. But then also there were 3 other families involved. So you go, okay, besides Mion's family. But we don't know who these other people are. So that makes it all the more like, I feel like reading all these like random pieces of information, and maybe some of it's completely unimportant, but it feels like it's supposed to be. Or you're sitting there going, I don't know, this is just stuff. What are they telling me?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah. Then that's also, that's when Mion gets really weird and creepy, and it's like, yeah, I was involved indirectly and directly with everyone dying. And then who was like, dude, run for the door. Run for the door. Okay, you get out of there now.
It's like, all right, that's your life.
Yeah, that's when she definitely gets dark. And then that's when he's alone with her. I don't know. I was definitely like, red flags were popping up, and he should be leaving.
He was trying very hard to be a hero.
Yes.
Like, you're my friend, you're not the Mion, I know. It was one of those moments.
It's like, let it go.
Oh.
Now, I don't doubt this, but we got Marcus Ritchie in the chat says it gets darker and more creepier. The more you watch. And then Starcloak says truth. I agree, and I'm totally invested in like how it's gonna get weirder and darker.
Yeah.
But it is interesting watching it in these chunks. Like, it might be one of those shows once we're all done. Like, I wonder if it is almost easier to binge, and they'll be like, just give me the next stuff. But I'm liking the arcs, because then it's like, ooh, you get to like let that simmer and think what it means to everything else. All right, so then we learn Shion's alive. She's not dead, but she's in prison in this weird, creepy underground tunnel and basement and thing, and you're like, where is this place? Yes. And torture chamber conveniently under Mion's house. No big. Totally cool. And but Shion also, something has happened to her, because she is like recoiling from Mion hardcore. It's like, what? When she backed up, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
it was crazy.
Well, even that is kind of interesting, because if you're watching this arc for the first time, it's like, oh, but they're part of the same family. Kind of, why would Shion be, treated this way and basically locked up? Why isn't? I guess it could be the twin thing. Like, if Mion is the first, then she's the head, and Shion just kind of like the whatever child. I guess you could think of it that way.
Black sheep.
Mm-hmm. Could be. Then that's when we learn he should have just given the doll to Mion. Really? I was all, really? That's the straw that broke the camel's back, as the phrase goes? It's like, she's a girly girl and she just wanted you to be nice to her. But,
oh my gosh, you guys don't even know. Right? Are you like on my same way? Yeah.
But this is also a moment in, like, I guess not knowing the context. It's also Mion's fault for not saying, yes, that's something she's into, because then that's when the moment where you wouldn't want something like this, and then she plays it off all cool. Oh, yeah, no, I don't want that.
We can't read your mind.
You can't read your mind. You need to say what you want and what you like, because he can't read your mind, and he's pretty dense, as we've learned. So the demon is taken over. Who liked this shift of, no, it's a demon, or who thought maybe she's just playing?
I mean, I kind of, I would go along with it.
I just think that this arc in particular really did a good job of really making you go against Mion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's, I know Veronica, I kind of know what, like, obviously we know what happens, but I think I love hearing your guys' thoughts on it, and that's all I'll say. Yeah.
Jaimi, what'd you think of this twist when it's like demons taking over, Mion's not here now?
Yeah, it was just really confusing, because like Mion, Shion, is she pretending to be Mion, or it was a lot. So that's why it confused me. So yeah,
I will definitely say it's like you will come to kind of understand a lot of identity stuff as you continue on.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it was one of those things too. Of it simple, it was just simple hairstyle change, and that's how you tell the difference between the two twins. And thank goodness they don't change their hair. But then again, I thought they did in one bit because it's like you pretended to be me.
Yeah. I like how these twins are more distinct, whereas like some other anime where there's twins, it's like you could tell them apart because they have a different part in their hair. It's like their bangs go left or their bangs go right.
Yes.
I'm looking at the Oron twins right
I
here.
was just saying that, I'm like, yeah, and then they dyed their hair pink and blue to be different. So that's when cops make it inside. He gets tased, but he's alive because I was like, wait, he's still moving. Mion has disappeared, and this one it goes like, keeps going crazy because he gets Keiichi's window. Oh wait, I'm like, what? Keiichi, he's alive. Well, the fact that he's alive after what? Oh, he gets stabbed. There we go. That's stabbed. So when he gets stabbed, I thought he was gonna die because we've killed people before so far, and they come back. But he's alive. Cool. They find the bodies of the people who are missing, and they found the well, which is gross and creepy too. And again, it's one of those like it's off there, so it's kind of weird just hearing the information and not seeing it. So then
would you just curious, like, would you want to see it?
Well, no, it's just the learning information when it's only told to you. How truthful can it be?
Yeah.
That makes me doubt any information anybody gives because it's one of those like unless that character sees it, it's just hearsay.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
That's
I think
suspicion.
In watching it the first time, I was like, I think I believe it because that was kind of the whole purpose of trying to find these people for now and for the past years and just trying to solve this mystery. So I was like, this is information, I'll take it. Why not?
No, true. Then we learned that the weird thing of information that Takano was dead. So whose body or what body was that was in the torture room, because apparently she had died before that. So that was weird. Jaimi, did you have any theories or like
it's like, okay.
Just another gosh darn thing to confuse you.
I do like that Oishi, the cop, kind of says, oh, yeah, there's just too many corpses walking around. I mean, with Japanese mythology of, demons and ghosts and things coming back, I thought it was weird that she could be a body walking around. But then again, there's been weird things that, sure, she's a corpse that's fine and walking around. But the thing is, again, nobody touched her, nobody verified. And, like, if you're the only one who saw them, were they really there?
Did you really see them?
Did you really see them? And then this is where we get super telenovela. Mion appears.
Crazy laugh.
And she's like, from under the bed. And then goes to hammer his finger. Finger is like, whoa. The hammer finger, yes.
I didn't know this. Okay, I thought it was different anime.
That kind of anime.
Yes. Hey. No, because we see it earlier where she's getting ready to take nails and stab his fingers and do that. Which again, it's one of those. I think everybody's stubbed their finger, caught your finger in the door, or something of a sort. So you know how much that hurts. I think this is so effective of like, ow, no, please don't. And so the getting ready to do that, and then they cut, which is great. Of like, and then that's where we leave this.
Yeah.
Were you gonna add something more?
Oh no, I was just curious of like, because in rewatching, I'm like, oh, this is kind of an interesting cliffhanger, but obviously once you get to the next episode, you realize, oh, everything has reset and it kind of ends. So I'm just curious, Jaimi and Kari, like, do you feel like these kind of arcs don't necessarily wrap up in a sense, or they kind of do?
They wrap up the way a short story wraps up, in terms of we have finished the beat we were on, but it leaves information open. Because Mion comes back, she's not dead, because we wondered where like, if we never saw her, then it would feel more open-ended. And this feels like a classic horror movie of like, surprise, they're still here, and movie's over.
Leaving it open for a sequel.
Like, dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Jaimi?
I was going to say, I feel like it's not totally full circle, only because it's like we did not know Shion in the first arc, and now we do know her. We're getting different endings, so I think it does leave it a little bit more open-ended, because we still don't know how this current arc ends right now. Like and also the deaths are seemingly different, as far as what's happened with Keiichi. So that's why I'm just so open to it. I don't even know what to think. Last time I thought like 3 people were the villains and they were not. So yeah.
We're going to hold on to predictions, speaking of that. Let's get into our special segment, which will be our word of the day. And since it was summer solstice the other day, and this show is technically kind of a summer show, it's the word for summer, which is Natsu.
Really?
Natsu.
Natsu.
Like-
Natsu.
Welcome, Natsu.
Natsu.
Hi, Natsu.
So that's the word for summer. Yay! And then now we'll get into some news.
Yes. Okay, you guys.
So Jaimi.
Yes. So, as you guys know, we have reviewed My Hero Academia before, and we told you guys last week that they're going to be premiering the first episode of season 4. Of course, we know it comes out in October, but at Anime Expo, they're premiering it Saturday, July 6th. You can go between 10 a.m. and 12 noon, and it's going to be in Exhibit Hall B. So make sure you get your tickets, get your wristbands, and we'll hopefully see you there. And then also Evangelion is on Netflix.
Yeah, so
you can check
some
it out.
people are diving into that show. Anybody watch?
I watched the original, and
Okay.
I was actually, as I had mentioned kind of on Attack on Titan previously, I didn't know that the new Evangelion that would be on Netflix was a redub. I honestly thought they were just going to put the original series on Netflix. And so over the weekend when I saw all of the English voice actors
Yeah, they're all
basically say,
like,
hey
"Hey."
guys, I got to be in this. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a redub? Like,
Yes.
wow, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I think it'll be really interesting to have new people come into that show. I don't think I ever watched it like all the way through. I know I watched a lot of it. And I think it's great that it's a classic that people have easier access to of anime stuff. Because, like, you know, there's so many wonderful streaming services now to get so much content. Too much content in too little time is what it is. But which is better because then you have the choices. So then also exciting, we have another Japan crate because, you know, like the show, pretend we never saw the other thing. This is the May crate. Right? So it's more yummy stuff and all the treats and all the things. And something fun, and I sent her a message. Emma, who's been a host here at AfterBuzz, is in the pictures.
Oh, that's so cute.
I was like, hey, wait a minute. So then this one, a fun thing in there is a, it's in the bottom. Wait.
I see pizza.
Eyeing things I want. No.
I'm going to have to take a picture of it because I'm like,
They can
I
have
think
it.
it's hiding. But there is a chocolate egg Pokemon.
Is it Psyduck?
Wait.
Side.
I love him. He is my boy.
We have, well, there is also some
my
Dragon Ball
favorite
Z
either.
stuff.
Yeah, that's mine too.
She's like, what? Okay.
Scrap
I'm like, there. Oh yeah. So that's this one. We got some Dragon Ball chocolate. So your favorite Dragon Ball characters are promoting special goodies inside. So it's a wafer sandwich with chocolate cream.
I can't wait to eat
And then, oh, there it is. I found it.
Oh my god.
So look at this itty bitty cute Pokemon one. So crack open into this chocolate egg to discover which Pokemon will be helping you eat this treat. So that'd be fun.
Can
Of like
someone eat
surprise.
that? And I'll have the Pokemon.
We're gonna crack it open. Yes. And so other fun things, we have Jaleed's coffee jelly drink. So that's like a coffee and we always get excited to drink those. We're like,
Go
yes.
for it.
And we got Pizza-La Italian chips. So pizza, that's on that one.
This
This
one?
is like the best
Oh
box
my gosh,
yet.
it's so great.
So
gosh.
all the good yummies in here. So this one, again, this is a premium box, and if you go
These
and type
jalapeno
it,
Pringles?
I'm all wait,
Jalapeno Pringles?
Oh my
yeah.
god.
jalapeno and onion Pringles.
Oh,
Rock, paper,
wait.
scissors.
So yes, if you go on and check out Japan Crate and type in the code AfterBuzz, you get $3 off your premium crate, and I highly recommend the premium crate because you get so many yummy goodies in there, and you get all the things. And then they have a nice little booklet, so explaining all the things in case you can't read Japanese, which most of us are not there yet. But they break it down what you get, and premium you get all the things. I'm just gonna hold it right here in front of your face. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so check that out for Japan Crate. Thank you so much. And we're like, yes, all the treats. We're so excited. All right, let's grab some quick predictions and be wrapping it up.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So, Jaimi, were you burning with one or?
I think
Okay.
maybe Keiichi will still be able to kill Mion and
Okay.
and Rena, because I'm like, what? Wouldn't it all come full circle again? It's just very confusing. I don't
Fair.
know.
I think this is definitely a show that you have to not try to think too much ahead, because then you're like almost pigeonholing your view of what's going to happen. And for like one of my thoughts, I was like, okay, are these scenarios that are running over and over? What is causing that? I don't know, because that's what it feels like, of like, all right, this happened, let's start over and we're going to do it again and see if we get different results, because that's been in other things. But it feels so that it could go a completely different direction, and I'd be like, okay, cool, sure.
Yeah.
You know, there's not enough to really get it, but it's so intriguing that I'm kind of like, I just need the next puzzle pieces, please.
I was gonna say, it's not too much of a spoiler to say, Ollie, that, you know, because we're watching them in arcs, you could sometimes think that they're very separate from each other.
Yeah.
But as you do watch, you will learn that things come into play from
Yeah.
future arcs into these past arcs.
Okay.
So things do come to make more sense.
That makes more sense. And I think looking back, I don't really remember, like, as season 1 ended, I finished it. I was never like, oh, but what about this major thing? I think some things were kind of left open just to kind of, like, obviously have a second season.
Yeah.
But yeah, things are going to be more twisted and crazy and darker as we progress, and I'm excited for you guys to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. So I'm like, oh yes. And then also in a couple different weeks, we're gonna have guest voice actors in the studio, so that'll be fun to talk about.
Is anyone
these
watching
characters.
English right now?
Yes.
I want to watch. Where are
Where?
you watching it?
Verve.
Oh,
I need to get Verve just for the old cartoons in general.
DVDs, but I can't find them.
Oh,
I'm
no.
watching Hulu.
I'm watching Hulu as
Same,
well.
same.
Yeah.
Is it only subbed on
Hella
Hulu?
concentration.
I know.
It's only something on Hulu, yes.
Like,
Okay.
man.
And then, do we want to mention our Anime Expo thing too?
Sure.
The other
Yes.
exciting thing. So, other exciting news is not only will our whole team be at Anime Expo, which is super exciting. So, we'll be bringing you videos from that. We're going to be covering all kind of different topics. So, please leave comments like what you want us to cover as well. Like, what are you interested in seeing from Anime Expo? And Veronica and I are going to be 2 of the live stream hosts. There's
Yay!
Yay! There are others as well. It's not just us 2. We would probably die of like that is too much to cover.
pressure.
Yes. So we don't know our schedules on that yet. They haven't announced it, so we're not going to share those details. But stay tuned for that as well, because we'll be bringing you all the exciting news from Anime Expo, which we're super excited about, because it's like we're going to be
weeks,
deep
right?
in it. Yes.
weeks.
It's less than 2 weeks away.
All the pressure.
Crazy, right? Okay, cool. So that covers it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, click that like button, subscribe, leave comments down below. If you're on iTunes, leave a 5-star review, because 1 through 4 don't work. And we thank you so much for listening, watching, commenting, all those things. And Ollie, where can people find you online?
Hi guys, you can find me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer.
You can find me at Jaimi Gray on Twitter at It's Jaimi Gray, or on Instagram at Jaimi Gray, Jaimi.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at It's Me, Veronica_V.
And my name's Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KaridLane. See? Also, again, thank you, Japan Crate. Check that out. And again, code AfterBuzz. Get your discount code. All right, and we'll see you next week. Sayonara.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.